Alrighty, YouTube. It's Wednesday night out here at EMP, down here on the border of Texas, Mexico, about 20 minutes from the border. Gonna go ahead and do a little testing on LaRousse tonight. Trying to make this the most sleeper of sleepers around, and I want to show you what I'm working with here. So you guys know the truck if you watch the channel, but I haven't bought the hubcaps yet because I'm not sure I'm going to commit to this idea. But so I popped off the caps and rings off the front, so it looks kind of stealthy. But here's what we're going to try tonight, and I didn't bring anything else. So this is what we've got. They're 7 by 26 by 15. So just to kind of give you an idea of what they look like, that's what they look like from the back. They're pretty small. And so we're gonna see. I'm gonna try to put the GoPro to where I can see, because I don't have anybody here to video. So I'm gonna try to put the GoPro down low and see if I can see the tire, what it ends up doing on a launch. But everything seems to be, I got it to spool up earlier today, so it seems to be working fine on that. Haven't really done a whole lot with it. Changed up some intake, you guys saw the last video, but I had some problems with the couplers. So hopefully that doesn't rear its head again tonight, but I'm just gonna try to get some launches. So all I'm gonna try to do tonight, all we're really trying to do tonight, I'm gonna set some goals. I'm gonna try to see if I can get like a 150 anything 60 foot, first of all. Second, if I can get a 650 or better in the 8 at maybe 106 or something like that, and then shut off. And if I can run a 10 anything shutting off still on these little tires, I'd say that's a success. I don't think it's gonna run, I'm not gonna try even to run a 9 because they get mad at me anyway, but I think it'll probably, you know, have a little bit of tire spin and not hit the best times that it can get. So but this is what we're gonna try to do, to kind of give you an idea of how tiny they are. You can go down and look. They are skinny. 7-inch wide on a 5.5-inch wide wheel. Not only are they skinny tires, but they're on really narrow wheels. I just grabbed them, invested an extra $100, see if see if it'll work. My buddy Leo had these tires laying around, and they're brand new, so we're gonna give them a shot and see, because I launched this thing pretty low RPMs anyway, so it'll either go or it'll spin, and I'm hoping that it goes, because if that's the case, I want to throw some hubcaps on this, maybe some stick-on chrome like the old guys do. I am old, by the way, so it'll fit perfectly, and see if I can get the most sleeper of all sleepers out of this little truck. So as you've heard before, it's super quiet. Basically looks stock, got the toolbox in the back, factory interior, and it's a little 4-banger, so nobody thinks much of it. And we're gonna find out what she can do tonight. I'm gonna let it cool off just a little bit more. It was about 100 degrees when I got here. I can tell the sun is going down right now. If you look, the sun's about ready to go down, and it'll drop a good 10 degrees as soon as the sun goes down, and the air will start cooling off a little bit. So I don't know, it's got an ice box, so it shouldn't affect it too much, but you know, the air, a lot of times the air is still really bad if you're working with 100-degree heat. So but we're gonna take a run here pretty quick, and I'll get back with you and we'll get some results out of it. After all, because it was definitely dancing around. I should have set the draggy up. I forgot. 650, I don't think we got that. I think it was spinning too much for that. Goal was a 150, 60 foot. I don't think we got that. We might have gotten a 10 something shutting off, but hard to say. I'll have to look at it. I'm definitely gonna have to launch it. I don't know if I can launch it any higher, to be honest with you. I could feel it spinning even when it came out of the water box. So, you know, try tiny tire testing. That's what we're doing today. I don't know if it's gonna work out well, but so far I don't think so. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more than that. It might have went a 7.0. I'm betting it's probably closer to 7.0 than it is to 650. But let's find out shortly. Thank you. Well, we ran a 669 at 105. Wow, we met all of our goals. 159, 60 foot, barely. A 669, that's close enough. And then a 1096 shutting down at 98. So, considering how little these tires are, and I think we can do better because there was no glue down. The burnout really wasn't that good. I'll have to turn up the burnout some, and then we'll go from there and see how it does. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna watch the video on the GoPro 360 and see how bad it was spinning, but it definitely was spinning. There's no doubt that it was spinning a lot because I could feel it drifting all the way down the track. So, but it was fun. We're gonna look at the video and see what we got. Alrighty, well, we're gonna call it a night. Basically ran 4 passes and pretty much consistent. Did get some 150, 60 foots, 154 I think was the best, and then 650 and 1630. But I think that's the best I'm gonna do on these tires unless I really put a lot of effort into it. Probably put some shocks on might help a little bit, or a little bit wider wheel because these are only 5.5s, and so they're a little bit, it feels real sketchy as I'm driving down the track. But anyway, here's what we're on. Tiny little, this is tiny tire testing, 7-inch wide tires. Shocking that it ran a 1050 shutting down at the 8th mile pretty much every time. It was dead on the number, and 650 and 1630. So surprisingly, it's pretty good for the launch that I'm putting at it. But that's it for the night. There's really not much out here tonight. A couple of fast cars, but nothing, you know, I mean, well, there's 2 really fast cars, but they're only gonna make a couple passes. Nothing crazy. I could suppose walk over there and show them off and show you what we get. Like Wednesday nights, there's not really much prep, so we got, you know, limited prep. And I think honestly, if I had a little bit better prep, I probably could get a 620 or a 610 out of it, which is on par with what it does. And I could feel it spinning, fishtailing almost all the way down. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go over and take a quick peek at these other cars so you guys can see what comes out here. One of them hasn't been out here for a while, but show you a couple of them. There's some cool trucks out here tonight, but nothing super fast other than Jason Cantu and Sam with his Grand National. That's the 2 I'll show you here in a minute. But otherwise, just Corvettes and some trucks, and nothing really fast. Probably a lot of 7, 8 second 8th milers, and, you know, 11-second Corvettes and stuff. So nothing major, but I'll get back to you here in a sec. YouTube. It's the day after running the truck at the track on a Friday night, and I know it's taken a couple extra days for uploads, but got some stuff going on here in the shop. Just wanted to kind of go over, if you look at the last two videos on there, and you'll notice that it had a pretty good little amount of body twist and wheelie on the left front on the truck, which normally doesn't do it. And so I was really surprised when I saw it on the video. So you'll notice in the one video I'll talk shortly about adjusting the CalTrac to put a little preload in. Well, what I found out actually is that the CalTrac had shifted a little bit, or the spring has collapsed a little bit. I haven't had a chance to get up on the lift yet to see exactly what's going on, but I adjusted it at the track, and if you see the last video, you'll notice that it basically hikes up the rear equally. Front end doesn't come up at all, it just goes straight. Felt real slow. There might be an interior video, I don't know if I uploaded that or not, but I was saying that it felt really bad. But ultimately it ran a 144 60 foot versus a 145 on the one right before, with it yanking the tire and doing all kinds of getting out of the groove and all kinds of crazy things. So it's obviously important to get the rear suspension to do what you need to do. I'll just show you real quick. I have to get on the ground. I've got, unfortunately, if you look, I've got some construction going on here. I'm adding onto the shop, and so they got the main building addition concrete done, but it was Good Friday and they didn't have another truck going out, so we're waiting on the remainder of the concrete. And so pretty much I just shoved these two out of the way, but we're gonna have quite a bit of room. If you look around, it's a lot, but I don't have a lift available right now to throw this thing up on. I've got one of my other cars up on this lift, and so I'll have to squat down here and show you. But ultimately, these are the CalTracs that I made, and you Mighty Max guys might be interested in this. But what I did was I went ahead and loosened this bar up right here. Loosened up, there's a little tab right there that you can smack and loosen up, and what ultimately you do is you take out the gap right there. It had about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gap on that, and again, I have to look and see something maybe moving, or it could be the spring collapsed, I'm not sure. But this side had a gap and the passenger side did not have a gap. And so with that said, it obviously allowed the thing to twist. It allowed the rear end to squat on one side, which allowed for that wheelie on the left front, which some people might think looks cool, but realistically it makes the chassis act all weird, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So now I've got that sorted, and I made the last run. Like I said, it felt slow, but it actually was just as fast. Well, it was faster than the other run. The 60 foot was 1/100th quicker, so at least we made some progress there. But she's sitting in her resting place right now underneath this guy, which I'll do another video soon of that one. But I think I'm done for a little bit with that. I might do another video this week of this truck, but I'm not sure. There's not really much more I'm going to do. Mainly I'm focused on getting this shop finished up. They'll be starting on the, well, I should get the concrete done tomorrow, and then it'll be onto the building, the frame of the building. But it's going out another 20 feet, so I'll have about 80 feet from front to back. If you look from all the way at that end all the way to that end, at least on these two squares, it'll have 80 feet. So it'd be kind of nice to have that much space, and I'll be able to just park my truck and my big truck and my little truck and the Talon right here and still have all this open area. I'm gonna move my toolboxes and stuff as soon as I get this all closed in. That way it's the toolboxes will be out here instead of a bunch of junk. But we'll get there. And but anyway, that's where we're at this week. And let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything in particular. I can definitely crank up the launch a little more, but I'm a little worried about the rear end braking. So I'm trying to keep it right around 4,700 maximum launch RPM, 20 pounds of boostish. But that's it for this week, fellas.